What up? What up? What up? Whoa. Can't hear myself. There we go. Whew. All right. Man, we are in the building. Thank you so much. We are here live in the building, man. Whew. Had a little bit of trouble getting started just now. Yeah, dang. You would think it was the first show. Welcome in. Hopefully everybody is doing good. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, hopefully my thing doesn't go out. It's showing a little issue with the Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi has been tripping lately. I don't know what's been going on, but they're not doing a job. So, but nevertheless, we are here, man, with another episode of ACE of Spades podcast. Thank you again for coming in, man. I am your host, Marcus, aka E. All right. I don't care what you call me. Don't you call me baby. We're gonna bring that back because we coming back with the what is it called? Ace of Spades News. That's gonna be on Sundays at 5 o'clock Central Time. Is when we're going to start. So I'm looking forward to getting that. Before we do that, though, we're going to get through with this. Oh, shoot. I left my book. Oh, damn. I left my book downstairs. But this is the final chapter. This is the final part. Actually, not chapter, but this is the final part. Got about 3 or 4. About 4 or 5 chapters or something like that up in there. So yeah, this is it, man. We have made it to the end of the book, man. Go ahead and give yourself a round of applause for that. Yes. We put in the work. We made it do what it do, man. And we have reached the end of the book. I am so happy to have done so. For those that do not know me, and for those that maybe do, I'm not your reader. All right, I don't like to read. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. That's not my forte. However, I found myself in a particular type of situation, which led me to pick up a book and to learn some things. And I was like, okay, man, it gave me a different perspective. So I was like, man, I wanted to create that podcast. So that's what I did. And that's what this is. A little bit about the prequel is that I did a male and female podcast before. And it was a good, I enjoyed it. It was really good, gave for good conversation. However, I think that it was better suited to kind of focus in on the fellas, man. I also offered to focus in on the ladies, but no ladies were available to participate. I would have loved to have produced a structured kind of a book club, really, for ladies to kind of get their self-help as well. But there was no takers. The fellas are the only ones that showed out, and really I think only 2 of them that were available showed up, and then one dropped off, and then we had one that remained. So even with the fellas, it was kind of a difficult thing to get it going, but we did it. And we're here at the end. So I was hoping that, just to be able to create something that was beneficial that we can look at and kind of maybe pick up some things along the way to kind of help us in this trajectory that we want to go in. So I think that we're going to give an assessment on it. All right. I'm going to give an assessment on the book. I'm going to have another podcast next week, same time, same place. I'm just going to do it. We're just going to talk about the book and kind of figure out what we liked about it. All right. So let me write that down before I forget, because I will forget. Let me write that in big letters. 5 things. Okay. All right. Hopefully I don't miss that. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this thing right now. Good, because I was looking to make sure that Mr. Steve was on, and he was on. I was trying to make sure his Facebook was on, and it is. So I will be trying to monitor over there. I know he does the same. But just in case, for those that may not know, born and raised from the city of Chicago, he has traveled from the Midwest and down south to pursue his passion for big and small screen storytelling with a Bachelor's of Science degree from Full Sail University. Woo woo. All right. You can find him on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and here on YouTube under the handle DizRizENT. All right. Speaking of YouTube, he has several channels under the names DizRiz Entertainment, DizRiz Boondock Reviews, DizRiz Cinematic Reviews, and his Cinematic Gaming channel, which I believe he's going to be bringing that back. So y'all stay tuned for that one. Make sure you go sub and subscribe. And also DizRiz TV Media. Okay. He also streams on Twitch under the handle DizRiz, which he's in the middle of getting everything situated. So I don't think he's been on it in a while, but please check it out. Nevertheless, man, good content. He has an extensive experience in production of a wide variety of films, including those for the real estate industry, the music industry, documentaries, web series, commercials, feature films, and PSAs. All right. You may check out his videos on YouTube under the handle DizRiz ENT. I think he's also streaming there now. I think I'm gonna pull one up to make sure I don't miss any comments over there. But help me out if just in case I do miss anything. For serious inquiries for businessman, please check him out on www.dizrizent.com. I don't know if he still has the merch, but if he does, you can find him at dizrizentmerch.com as well. Man, y'all please put a warm welcome together for none other than Mr. Diz Riz in the building, man. What's going on with you?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, nothing much, man. I was telling him, we started off with three. Now we're here with two. You know what I'm saying? And you've been here the whole time, man. And also, you've been streaming as well. You know what I'm saying? To your platforms as well. So, it's been a great experience. I appreciate that. Number one, it's been a great experience that you would. I appreciate the fact that you would share your platform. But it's been a great experience. And time. We've made it to the end of the book. I know that you've been moving, you've been relocating, and you're still here to try to make some time for me. So I definitely do appreciate it. But I want to start off by saying thank you. And next, how you doing?
Man, I'm cool, man. Enjoying this Texas heat. Literally. It's hot as hell out here. I'm talking about 10 o'clock at night, 2200. It's still 90 degrees, and I'm in the north. I ain't even down south, so I can imagine what's going on down there.
Yes, sir, man. It gets real hot and muggy out here, so I'm glad to hear that you're here. I'm glad to hear that you finally made it to Texas and everything, man. So as a fellow, well, I ain't a fellow Texan, you know what I'm saying, but as a person that's knows Texas, here in Texas, man, welcome to Texas. I guess as best as I can say.
Hey, as far as I'm concerned, I'm a Texan now, boy.
Oh shit! Hey, you sound like Trap, man. He done moved in and forgot where he's from, man. He was like, "Yo, I'm Texan now."
Man, for real. Like, I mean, it's been crazy just the Southern hospitality is like overboard. Like, hey, had me clutching my shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all so nice out here? You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's just the Texas way, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially like, you know, when you go into a different area, you know, or newer area, you know, folks, you know, they can tell you ain't from around here, you know, and it's how you come off, it's how you present yourself, you know, with anything, you know, and everyone I came across, you know, that either I spoke to or had conversations with since I've been in the DFW area has been fairly nice. Like, it's scary. It's scary nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, made me want to check my pockets and stuff, make sure I ain't stole nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? But it's been love. It's been love since I've been here. So it's been a welcome to Texas. I just say it like that.
Oh yeah. Plus you got that money, so you in a good area. So
I don't know what you're talking about. You the one with all the money.
I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. So welcome in. Thank you again for coming, man. I would say welcome in, but thank you again for coming. I really do appreciate it. So we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. All right. Actually, a little housekeeping. If you can, please hit the like button. They say how's the algorithm? I have no idea, but if you can, man, please do that. Also, if you haven't already liked us or subscribed, and hit the notification, please do that. That'd be greatly appreciated. And as well as you can donate too if you like to. I got a ticker somewhere with the Cash App, so if you want to donate, you can feel free to do that as well. I think I got one. I may not. Do I got one? Yes, I do. Okay. So if you want to donate, you can. The Cash App is down at the bottom. It helps to pretty much me to keep giving into the stream, adding on to the stream. So it helps. All right. No amount's too big or too small. Just to put it out there. All right. So all right. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get right into this thing. this is it. We're on part 8. Okay, part 8, which is men's and women's yoga of intimacy. Okay, men's and women yoga of intimacy. Normally, I shortened these up and gave synopsis on there, but I kind of went through this time because last time I don't know I was here and I was doing the you know the y'all, if y'all was here, y'all know what we was talking about. um but yeah, I was here. We was getting it.
We was getting it.
We was
Did
getting
you
it
open up the
in.
lines? I missed last week. Did you open up
No,
the
no, no.
lines?
Yeah, last week we was talking about a lot of climaxing. I think that's what it was, and learning how to climax to your brain and all that good stuff, and Kegels and stuff. So I kind of went through that kind of quickly, so I went ahead and kind of lengthened this one out so we didn't end it so abruptly, because I felt like I was just starting to get into the flow of it, right? So we're gonna go ahead and check some of these out. So they're gonna be a little lengthy, but I'm gonna come in. We're gonna do like we usually do. All right. So again, this is part 8, men's and women's yoga of intimacy. This is again from the book The Way of the Superior Man. And so yeah, that's where it is, just in case you want to follow along or join in or whatever. All right. So it starts off by chapter 47 starts off by saying, take into account the primary asymmetry. All right. Intimate relationships, is the synopsis starts, is never the priority in a masculine man's life and always the priority in a feminine woman's life. Okay, if a man has a masculine sexual essence, then his priority and his mission, his direction toward greater release, freedom, and consciousness. If a woman has a feminine sexual essence and her priority is the flow of love in her life, including her relationship with a man whom she can totally trust in body, emotion, mind, and spirit. Okay. Men and women must support each other in their priorities if the relationship is going to serve them both. All right. So everybody in their roles, man, it helps everything flow. All right. So let's get on into this thing. Although you and your woman are equal beings, okay? So you're equal beings. We ain't saying nobody greater than anybody else. All right, we're equal beings. You are very different creatures, though. All right, I think that's very important to remember. We are very different creatures. If she has a feminine sexual essence, her core will be fulfilled when love is flowing. For example, she can express difficulties in her career, but if her love is flowing in her life with her children, friends, and with you, I'm assuming her man, then her core will be fulfilled. All right. It goes on to say that not so for you. So it's not the same for men. All right. If you have a masculine sexual essence, then your woman and children can be loving you all day and night. But if your career or mission is obstructed, you will not feel at ease. You won't even want to share much intimate time with your woman until you have your career and mission back on track. Um, you want to speak on any of that so far?
Hey, I totally agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a two-edged sword with that one. I think in the beginning, in the beginning of the flame of the relationship, I think you can be intimate, but when the what they say back in the day, when the going gets tough, um, the getting gets to getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, the priorities change, and you actually see what type of bills coming in. You actually see how that other person, your mate, is. So that becomes not of a priority more than the bills and other priorities that come into play. Maybe you working so many hours, they working you 6 days a week. You know what I'm saying? 12-hour days type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you lose track of focus, but once you get that focus and get to your goal, like we said in the beginning of the book, that's when you tend to bounce back and jump back on track. So that's why I say it's a two-edged sword in regards to that.
Copy that. Copy that. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think that um what we're talking about is that yeah, if if we're not in our roles and we're not doing what we were basically made to do, then we're off. We don't feel we may not feel like ourselves. Um, so the book goes on to say we are intimacy is going great. I guess when the intimacy is going great, your woman life is filled with colors of love. She feels good at work, at home, and in bed. All right. When the intimacy is not going so great, when your woman feels I loved, rejected, or if I guess if your woman doesn't feel loved, she feels rejected, hurt, or abandoned by you, that her day will be colored by heart. It might be by hurt. At work, at home, and in bed. Pain of unlove. What color her disposition? So basically, if she's not being filled, she will definitely color the world with bad colors. All right, or at least she'll have those. I think they talk about the rose-colored glasses, rose-colored lens. She'll have some bitchy lens. But you but for you, things are different. Okay. For men, it's a little bit different, or masculine. It's a little bit different. When your intimacy is going bad, you can't wait to leave the house and go to work. There, you can be in your element, aligned with your purpose, and happy. For your woman, the intimacy is at the core of her life and colors everything else she does with the primary asymmetry in intimacy. I could definitely attest to that because it'd been time where I sit in the work parking lot. Like, I gotta go home. God damn. Shit. I do not want to do, you know what I'm saying? Because it's out of whack, man. You don't want to be around that when it's all out of whack. You know what I'm saying? So I can definitely understand that. Please jump in at any time if you see anything or hear anything that stands out to you as well. Um, Diz Riz.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, that I think that's pretty much sums up what I just said. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be it, and if it doesn't become a priority, or it drops on the priority, it drops low on the priority list. Especially when you come home and it's gonna be stress this, stress that. I almost said this and that, but I know we on social media. I got to remember I've been on my Will Smith stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not
There
to
it
curse,
is.
but you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, that's when those priorities change, especially when you're trying to get into your purpose. And then once you find your purpose, that's why I say you'll bounce back into that. Sometimes sometimes it works out. Sometimes it could be too late. Like I was at the store the other day. I told you folks in Texas, they super nice, right? I was talking to one of the dudes, older gentleman, cashier, and he said, "Man, I got divorced. I got divorced back in 1977." I was like, "And you never remarried?" And he was like, "Nope." I was like, "That was 2 years before I was born." I was like, "But I said the same thing. If it ever came to that, I would never do it again." But that was like, it was a comical, conversation we was having, but speaking truth to that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
who wants to start over with that? That I mean, nah, bro. No, fool me once, fool me twice.
No, I definitely hear that. I hear that, man. All right, so it goes on to say that it goes much further than this. Okay, it goes much further than this though. For most men, their woman is replaceable. Harsh but true. Okay. And anybody knows, again, we are reading reading the Way of the Superior Man. This is not my words, okay? But I'm going to repeat it again. It goes much further than this, though. For most men, their woman is replaceable. Harsh but true. Okay. If you are like most men, you know deep down that if you were to lose your present woman, you would deeply grieve, but you could eventually find another. Many times, in fact, you have probably fantasized about finding another woman even before you lost the one you have. Okay. God dang, I gotta sneeze. Man, I don't know if I can be here. Excuse me. Uh, you can find that's my wife right there. She made me sneeze because you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Um, you'll find another woman without any problem, basically. All right. Even before you lost your woman, you probably would fantasize about her, about another gaining another woman. All right. This is because we are mission driven. All right. If he feels another one at work enlivens him and gives him more energy for his work, he might desire her as an intimate partner. However, you are lodged in the heart of your woman. All right. So you are lodged in the heart of your woman. She feels you all day. She senses where you are at, feeling threads from her heart. You're connected to her heart. Okay. Night and day, you are not replaceable in her perception. She does not frequently consider other options, as you probably do. Whereas you live in a world of rational possibilities, she lives in a world of rational actuality. Um, your relationship with her is not only at the core of her life, but it is also the main determinant of her mood. So is this true on your end, Steve? Do you uh wait what do you think about what Sarah here?
Um, I kind of agree with that. You know what I'm saying, so to speak.
Which part more specifically? Because I want to make sure we get this on the
Um,
record.
just in regards to the male versus what the hell? My earpiece, man. I ain't used my AirPods in so long, man. They want to connect and disconnect and man doing all this craziness. But
Yeah.
can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you through my headset now. Because I had you coming through the vehicle. Yeah. So the woman normally, when they start a relationship, usually when a couple starts a relationship, they trying to stick it out. They trying to work with it if it's a loving relationship, right? But the woman is kind of like living for the day versus the man, since he's like the problem solver. uh he would be considered, looking into the future, or what's his next making his next move his best move, so to speak. And not to say women don't think that way, but usually the woman is trying to make sure the house is running, make sure the relationship is going, at the top of the float. But like the R. Kelly song, when the woman's fed up, hey, it's over. Hey, you know what I'm saying? You might as well go ahead and pack your bags, because it ain't no bouncing back from that. Versus the man is living for the moment, but pushing towards his future, so to speak. Because because the trust factor. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people nowadays don't trust each other, so it's hard to stay in relationships. You know what I'm saying? But just to keep it going, you know what I'm saying? The man is looking more less towards the future, and like, man, okay, what's my next move? Versus the woman is trying to start that family and stick it out from the get go, so to speak.
So what about the part of where do you think men are already like fantasizing about their replacement part of it? Do you think
That's
that's true?
that's that's what I said. A portion of it. I don't feel that one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't feel that. Because like my dad used to say, it's cheaper to keep her, so to speak. Once you jump the broom, once you get tied down, once you put that ring on each other finger and say I do, it's cheaper to keep her. If you're looking towards the future or looking at other women in that manner of, man, I should have went that way. Why did you waste the time in regards to saying I do? So that's why I don't agree with that, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Wasting time. Hey, I ain't about wasting time. You know what I'm saying? When I'm editing videos, I'm trying to find a shortcut. You know what I'm saying? To get to the gusto versus, wasting time. You know what I'm saying? And playing around and stuff like that. Yeah, I might try, what I'm saying, some new things, but usually I stick to, to my gut, so to speak, versus jumping around. So I don't agree with that.
Okay. Man, I 100% agree with that shit, man. Look here, I already got a replacement, man. Her name is Sapphire off of Baddies. Okay, Baddies Caribbean. If you ever seen her, if you know, you know. Okay, she's Sukiana's friend. tell her to call. Okay. I already got my replacement. So yeah, I'm 100% with it. Okay. It's just us talking. Nobody else hear me. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I already got the replacement already ready to go. Okay. Uh as a backup. Okay. As far as the look, I think that yes, I think the
I
part of
agree with
this.
that. I agree with having a backup plan, but you know what I'm saying. Pursuing that backup plan, you kind of chasing your tail in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, she's not a backup plan. She's a replacement. So if anything was to happen, where my wife was no longer in the picture, I already know who I'm subbing in. I should tag her hand on the way out. You know what I'm saying, and bring her in. So yeah, that's just what's happening, right? So if you know, you know. Okay, don't play no games. So yeah. As far as like, yeah, I can understand us being kind of focused on the task at hand. Now I don't agree. I mean, I don't know, right? And this is why I would love to have a woman's perspective of it, because I would definitely love to know if it's the majority of women. I don't think that my woman has me lodged in her heart where she thinking about me day in and day out. I just don't think so. I think that there's so many other things that are going on in her orbit that I'm not even on that radar. You know what I'm saying? So I would be really interested into hearing if that's true from a woman's perspective, that not in the beginning. Don't think about the fresh beginning smell of the relationship where you're saying, "Oh yeah, I can't wait, I can't I can't go a day without talking to him." I'm talking about when you've been in the mud, when you've been in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? When you put some years on that motherfucker, the new car smell is wore off, right? It smells like goddamn old baked potatoes and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. When you get to that point, or as a woman, are you still thinking about your man in that aspect? I don't think so, man. I don't think these women are checking on us like that. And I think.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I was just gonna chime in, but yeah, go ahead, bro.
Oh no, well, maybe it was a good time you chimed in. Go ahead. I was about to go somewhere else. Go ahead. I ain't gonna say it.
No, I think that goes back to what I said in the beginning, in the outset of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the beginning it's lovey-dovey, like you said, but when you get into the mashed potatoes, you know what I'm saying, and things is rocky, of course not. But like the saying, happy wife, happy life type deal, happy household, whatever it's called. Once it seemed like that's when that man finds his purpose, when that man hits his peak in regards to like everything is flowing smoothly, she's happy. And I think that will reel her back in to, actually thinking about, because it's in a sense like, especially if they know there's nothing going on, no, promiscuous activity or, cheating and stuff like that. And they know that you're there for that. I think that's when they, it piques their interest again. Like, damn, he moving solid without me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get myself together. It kind of almost put him in a reality check type deal. To and start thinking more. It might not be in regards to like how it was in the beginning of the relationship, but it's other things like more future goals, so to speak. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, all right, bet that. All right, we're gonna push on. It says, our culture has become so anti-feminine that many women are trying to deny their feminine core desire and adopt a masculine way of dedication to mission. All right, by denying their feminine essence, such women are uh predisposing themselves to emptiness of heart, depression, and bodily symptoms of disease. Um, why are you gonna text? I'm sorry, I got a text message from Ashanti. I don't know why she texted me to ask you if she can borrow your car, Steve, but she could have been and typed that in the thing. I don't understand this girl.
I got you, cousin Shanti. I got
Man,
you.
man,
Go get the key.
I don't know if my mom on here, but F her. All right, so and bodily disease, right? So in
I'm up there tearing up stuff.
likewise, you must not deny your woman's feminine essence by feelings, by feeling or saying to her, your life seems to revolve around our relationship. That's not healthy. You should have your own life, your own direction, your own career and friends. Stop complaining about our internet problems, and I guess our intimate problems, and get a life. Okay, let's start with that. What do you think about the culture of anti-feminine, the women being anti-feminine, and the thought of you shouldn't tell your woman that to get a life and do her own thing?
Well, okay, I'll say the anti-feminine one for last, but um, in order for her to for her to get a life, man, that's to me I wouldn't say it's harsh, but the thing is, because in a sense, when you get married, you are her life. You took her from her father. You know what I'm saying? You took her from her family, so to speak. So in a sense, like she's looking at you almost like a father figure, not her father, but like a father figure, like a leader, so to speak. So to push her off and tell her to get a life, you know, that can create jealousy because when she started getting a life, started doing her own thing, you coming up with the questions why we ain't doing this, why we ain't, you told me to get a life. Now you got some tit for tat going on right there. But if you at least show her or do things, set up a schedule where you do things, but let her enjoy herself and you enjoy yourself. I think when you meet in regards to that schedule, I think the intimacy would be better in regards to that, if I'm making sense. Versus just kicking out, or kicking them to the curb saying, get you a life. You know what I'm saying? Because then, like, she started hanging out with her girls doing all this crazy stuff, clubbing and this and that, whatever the things that that you frowned upon in the beginning of the relationship. Now she's doing that, but she gonna hit you with with the rebuttal. You told me to get a life, so I'm getting a life. You know what I'm saying? Doing the things that she want to enjoy. But when it comes to anti-feminism, I wouldn't say they would be anti-feminism, or anti-feminist. Uh, most of the women that I've talked to are very feminine, you know, um, and they're not against feminism. So that one is kind of that's kind of like straddling the line, with them being anti-feminism. If that makes sense.
All right, all right. Um, and just so we clear, it's not we talking about anti-feminine, not feminism. That's a whole different ball game.
Oh, same difference. Same difference.
Jakar Lee says, what do she need a life for when I'm all she needs? That come on, man. That's what I'm talking about. Ain't that? Won't he do it? All right. So welcome in, Lee. No, dude, I actually think differently. I think that the culture is more anti-feminine. Yeah, anti-feminine. I think that women have made it, and I think, of course we can go down a conspiracy thing, but I think that it's been made so that they're more on the masculine side of things. I don't think that back in the day, and that's what I kind of get the feeling of from this portion right here, is this is kind of like back in the day type shit, right? Where how many women now were in the kitchen with their grandma cooking growing up? How many women have stuck to those traditions? How many women have their kids in there cooking with them? Like not on like just special occasions and shit, like religiously in there cooking. No, this is how you do it. There's so much so that the kids were cooking damn near 4-course meals, right? How many have sharpened those skills? How many have had their them cleaning, laundry, all these things, right? They're not trying to do that shit anymore, man. They're actually anti all that shit, right? They're like, no, man. If anything, they're trying to get the dude to do the shit, right? So I think that this is like a real old school perspective. I don't think that it's there. And I do think that, yeah, I kind of believe that it kind of does, mess with your heart, the emptiness of your heart, depression. Man, so many people are depressed, right? So many people are freaking depressed, man. I think that they mess with the depression. I think that they mess with body symptoms. It says body symptoms of diseases. Man, I'm telling you, I believe that because everything is out of whack, right? Even if you look to us, how we eat, our diets are out of whack, right? So now we got diseases and things going on, right? We got all this imbalance with the things that we got going on. So I think that I actually think that it is even more to the extreme of what this book mentioned. And as far as the other part of it, of being like, hey girl, get away from me. Okay, I think that there's women out there, but I don't think that's the majority of women. I would love to hear from a woman, but I don't think that's the majority of women. I don't think women want to be with men like that. I don't think they want to be up under men like that. Most of the women that I've known want to do their own goddamn thing. They are not trying to kick it with you. Matter of fact, they don't even like you. They don't even fucking like your ass. Real talk. Like just the way that you breathe annoys them. Annoys them. You can say something and they automatically assume the worst about it. Dude, I do not think that they want to be up under. I think this is some old school shit. Like back in the day when I was younger, like maybe I might have ran across one girl that was like, hey, what you doing? I'm like, hey, man, I'm hanging with the boys. I bet I'll be done. And like, I'll call you when I'm done. And then like 5 minutes, they call you back. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wait a minute. I'm at the studio, man. What? You know what I'm saying? Here with the usher lines, right? And then they call back again. You know what I'm saying? So I've only experienced like maybe once or twice to where somebody just wanted to be up under you, wanted to know what you were doing, were around you. They ain't doing that shit now. Hold on, man. Let's see what Lee talking about. They ain't doing that shit now, man. They grandma not too older than them nowadays. That is a thing. That is true. They just don't want to be the single one. Yes, I can definitely see that, man. I can see that too. And I'm yeah.
That's why,
They don't.
like, with that being said, like, speaking of today, I totally agree with that. Today's generation, the Gen Z, definitely, you know, they just want to go out and rip a run. They want to be like Glorilla or whatever the whole name is. You know what I'm saying? Like they, they want to do that until they're miserable. You know what I'm saying? And like Lee just said, I think I said that a lot of times on the old podcast. You know what I'm saying? Grandma 42. You know what I'm saying? Mama 28. And they 13, 15. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, math might be messed up a little bit, but hey, it's been situations that I know of where, you know what I'm saying, I got a couple homegirls, you know what I'm saying? They kids is they fucking, 11, 12 years older. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, nowadays, but it's about finding happiness. That's what I feel. Finding your purpose, finding happiness in regards to it, and picking up those signs in the beginning. Letting them know like, hey, this ain't what we on. We ain't on that. And nipping it in the bud. And then we move on, so you ain't wasting each other time. Versus falling in that ditch and you can't get out. Now you're stuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. All right, we're gonna press on, man. The desire for intimate loving is as central to a woman's life as the mission towards freedom, financial, psychology, and spiritual. I'm sorry, as much as those things are yours. Okay. Think of how many hours a day you dedicate to your mission and compare that to how many hours a day screen serving. Oh man, this thing did not type out right. How many hours a day scene serving your woman's deep desire for the magnification of love? If you want her to honor and support you in your quest of freedom, you must honor and support hers and her love of loving. Her devotion to love has a lot to teach you. The book has more great information. Before the second time, I will move on to the next chapter. Or for the second time, I'll move on to the next chapter. But before we do, I think that this is true. I think that that's one thing's in relationship. Before I do that, let me see what Jagar Lee had to say at the end of the men just love yourself. I wouldn't say that. I would probably say more so men just get on your purpose. But yeah, so I do think that this is the other part, right? So I do think that it is important to feed into your partner, right? I think that is important to feed into your partner in things that they like and it be reciprocated, right? I think a lot of the times that could cause a lot of the problems when it's an imbalance and one side is tapping in but the other one isn't reciprocating that type of feeling. So I definitely think that it is important to check in with your partner into what they're into, how they're into it, right? Because a lot of times we give love according to what we think love is, but for them it may not be in the way where they're receptive to it. So I think it's key to learn how they're receptive to it. Give it to them. If you're on the receiving end, notice what they're doing and reciprocate that to them. I think that makes for a great relationship.
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree with that. That's that's that 50-50. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people don't want to hear. That's that compromising. That's that big C word. That capital C word. Once you compromise and actually come to an agreement, you tend to learn each other versus just going through the motions. So definitely I totally agree with both of that. Especially the 50-50. I know a lot of women don't like to hear 50-59. They want to say, what's hers is hers and what's his is hers, and it don't float like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these men, especially, they didn't found their purpose. They making six figures. They ain't trying to give you that. They hitting you with a prenup. You know what I'm saying? In the dating field, letting you about to get hit with a prenup. So they gonna miss out and they gonna be miserable. You know. Hope I made my point in regards to that.
All right. Yeah, and Lee, I think you're right too, as well as love yourself, man. All right, as well. All right, so we're gonna go on to chapter 38. All right, we got 3 more chapters left. And it says you are responsible for the growth in intimacy. The synopsis of this says there are masculine and feminine gifts in intimacy, and each gift comes with its own responsibility. The direction of growth of a relationship is primarily a man's responsibility. The energy of an intimacy, pleasure, sexual flow, and vitality is primarily the woman's responsibility. A simplified way of saying this is that the man is responsible for the woman's depth of love or openness of mood, and the woman is responsible for the man's erection or energy in the body. Okay. I definitely agree with that so far. I think that men are responsible for the mood because I feel like we can kind of direct that mood. Not all the time, but we can do it. And when we can, when we can, we can. All right. So right there is where we need to be able to switch gears, right? Because we're the more logical beings. We don't get wrapped up in our emotions. We shouldn't get wrapped up in our emotions. I ain't gonna say we don't, but we shouldn't get wrapped up in our emotions. We have a mission, and our mission, my mission is to have, for my wife to be happy, right? And not necessarily happy life, happy wife, happy life, but just because I'm a person, right? So I try to when she's in a funky mood, I try to get out that funky mood, right? So we have the ability to do that. It would be unfair for them to try to do the same when they're so wrapped up a big ball of emotions, right? If you've been with women and once that switch flips, you don't even have to flip. They once they feel offended or whatever they feel, it's rarely any any chance that they're going to step outside of themselves and see it from another person's perspective, right? We have that ability to be like, okay, whoa, this situation isn't that big. Let's, she's a little bit off. Let's reel it in. So that's definitely our gift. So I definitely agree with what that's saying so far. All right, going on, it says once you have grown into independent adulthood, you no longer need somebody to take care of you. You can be responsible for yourself. In particular, you realize that you are responsible for your own happiness. I think that goes into what Lee was saying when he said, men, love yourself. So you are responsible for your own happiness. Nobody can love or live your life for you. You must create your own health, success, and happiness. I definitely 100% agree with that. All right, because a lot of times we do. Because I mean, I'm in the air a little bit because part of me is like, man, I feel like as my wife's spouse, if I see she's having a bad day, I'm going to at least attempt to try to make her have a good one, right? Or let her have a good one. She may not be receptive to it, but at least I'm gonna give it a good go. I think a lot of I think so I don't see anything wrong with that, with trying. But yes, ultimately, I'm not responsible for her happiness. That's a big key right there. This sense of self-responsibility is only a partial maturity. However, beyond self-responsibility lies the responsibility to give your gift as an important, or it is important to grow beyond dependence of your intimate partner for your own happiness. But it is equally important to grow beyond simple independence and autonomy. Okay. I think this is the independent individual, right? The next stage of intimacy after personal dependency has been attained is the mutual flow of gifting or serving each other in love. Man, I don't think that there's enough of this in couples. I definitely don't, fellas. Make sure you're pouring into your women, okay? If you hear me, make sure you're pouring into your women out there, okay? And vice versa, women do the same, but men definitely make sure you're doing it, okay? A lot of times we just want to receive, sometimes, we gotta be givers. I don't mind being a giver. You know what I'm saying? Let the love flow. You know what I'm saying? So you got to definitely make sure you're pouring in them. Ladies, all right. I hate when I see this. But be open to receiving the love. Okay. A lot of people like to be like, man, you tell fellas, how many fellas out there? And Jakar said, my cup is empty, brother. You need to find a way to fill that back up. All right. How many fellas out there? How many of y'all be like, hey, babe, you look so good? Just for her to roll her eyes or be like, oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, ladies, take the compliment. Okay. If your man say he looks good, say thank you, baby. I appreciate that. All right. You can even throw a compliment back. Damn, you look good too. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You look good too. Learn how to receive it. I don't know what it is about ladies that where they just can't receive a compliment, man. Learn how to receive a goddamn compliment. If he's giving you that love, take that love. All right. Take that. All right. It goes on to say, as mentioned before, women often get lost in their moods. Okay. She can't get on a roll of hyper nervousness, or she can feel dejected and mope around the house surrounded by a black cloud. This can be difficult for a lot of women to climb out of. So it is our job, men, to help pull them out in a loving way. Like I was saying before, it is our job to do so. Okay. The point is not to be her therapist, but to be her wake-up call, a heart opener, a reminder of primacy of love. If it takes more than 5 minutes to open her into love, you're probably talking too much and acting too little, or perhaps you have forgotten your true purpose. Okay, it's not that your cup's empty, you just forgotten your true purpose, Lee. Okay, learn your true purpose, man. I had a friend that I was talking with. He was going through some lady stuff, and I don't know how, he's a person that can talk, and I tried to let him know, man, sometimes less is more. You know what I mean? When you're sitting there hitting them with the logic, it's just not being received as well as you may think it is, man. Say less, do more. Okay, actions, 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 man. It helps. Trust me. All right. Next is okay, so next we go on. It says your masculine gift is to know where you are, where you want to be, and what you need to do to get there. Directions, fellas. Directions. If you don't know one of these, then you need to discover it any means necessary. If you have no higher vision than the day-to-day grind of housework, job, childcare, TV, and vacations, you are failing your birthright. Okay, this masculinity is your birthright. Don't fail it. All right. Your woman will feel cheated and ungifted by you, as well the world, or as well as the world, as well will feel cheated by you. Okay. And they will both give you less of their gifts in return. Okay, this is one of those things, man. I hate to hear that the homie's cup is empty, but in order to get poured in, sometimes you got to pour in to somebody else, right? So I think this is kind of what that's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Of getting that gift and pouring it in, and being able to receive it in return as well. Let me make sure normally I'll have Steve here, so I'll be clicking on the background, but I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody on Steve pages as well. Oh, Gallimore. All right, we got Blackthorn. It says Sergeant Gallimore is amazing, was an amazing leader, and held such an impact, or I guess held such an impact in my life. Love you, dude. I'm pretty sure he definitely, matter of fact, I know he appreciates that as well. Don't forget to hit the like button on his stream too, man. Hit that like button on the stream. Show him some love. You know what I'm talking about? All right. So yeah, I like to try to go through his, make sure I ain't missing none of his people as well. All right. If your woman is always stressed out, you need to know what she could do with her life in very particular terms, so she can relax. Perhaps she needs to exercise more, meditate more, change her career, dance, spend more time with her women friends. If you if your woman feels unfulfilled, most of the time you need to know what she is missing. That's a little bit hard. All right, I already know. For a couple fellas, they already out there like, wait a minute, I gotta do what? Right? I guess that's the gift. Right? That's the gift we got to do, man. We got to figure out what it is that they need and make it happen. Less talk, more action. Are you playing the game of sensitive man, giving her space to be miserable rather than offering her your constant and fearless gift? And if she doesn't want your gift, your deepest wisdom and unsuppressed loving, then why would you want to be with her? Okay, if she's not accepting it or receiving it, why you want to be with her, man? You feel me? Jakar Lee says if she's always stressed, just get a new one. She's she's defective, sir. Sir, come on, man. I'm I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy. Thank you for coming in, man. I don't know this guy. This guy is wow.
Hey, but
Suppress
Lee,
love and why?
though? Why you want
What's
to
that?
start up? You're gonna end up right back in the same situation. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get to the point and figure out what the issue was from there.
Yeah, yeah. Then why would you want to be with her? Your main gift in intimacy is to guide her, moment by moment, out of her moods and into the openness of loving. All right. And then day by day, to guide her life into greater degrees of divine love, even beyond the relationship, so that her life becomes primarily communion, gifting, and celebration. If you cannot offer your woman or I'm sorry, if you cannot offer your woman such guidance, what can you offer her? Why is she with you? What is your relationship all about? You want to chime in on any of that?
No, I'm good. I just said what I had to say.
All right. Yeah. Um, yeah, see, and I think that the part of the sensitive guy giving her space, because I feel like sometimes, again, it's different women, man. It's different women out here. I think that just like men, sometimes they need to be by themselves and kind of figure out some of the shit that they. Now, if you got a girly girl, then maybe this might fit. I don't think a lot of these women are girly girls. I think that the anti-feminine thing is still in effect. So I think that most of the time, I find that if you just give space, you know what I'm saying, and it's not Mr. Nice Guy. I think it's just, look, man, I this is above my pay grade. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to fight me on trying to be happy. So whatever it is that may be um, internally bothering you, you may need to iron it out and then come back later, and then we keep it going. I definitely think it's subject to different, the different type of women, because I don't think these girly women's out here that's gonna be on that. I think they're more so on the, like, niggas and need to just goddamn take some time to themselves. But I could be wrong. Everything in the book should be practiced daily, like a musician practicing his art. You must practice daily the art of feeling through your fears, feeling to your edge, and then living just beyond your edge. Neither seeking into private consolation nor pushing so hard you disconnect from your source. The source that is your deepest truth must become more and more the impulse of your life. Over time, all of your activities must become aligned with this source, and so must your relationship. All right. Because you probably tend to become lost in your thoughts, you are in your goals, in your projects. One of the main gifts your woman can offer you is getting you into your body, into the present, into love, which connects you to your source. Through her touch, her loving, her attractiveness, she can also give you energy so that your whole body becomes like an erection, full and alive and ready to penetrate the world into love, man. You got anything on that so far, Steve?
Negative. Oh, negative. I think that was straight to the point. You know what I'm saying?
All right, bet that.
I
Bet
ain't
that.
wa-
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I think that again, man, I think these are different women. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think these are different women because um I don't I don't think that, well, I don't know. I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is this generation, man. These generation ain't lovey, they not touchy feely, right? So maybe that's why men are depleted, right? Maybe that's why they're flaccid, right? Because they're not getting touched, right? I think it says something about through her touch, her loving, and her attractiveness, she can give you energy. A lot of these motherfuckers is running around on E because ain't nobody touching them. Motherfuckers ain't touching, get touched. How many times your woman just come and just rub your back, rub your leg, you know what I'm saying, or touch you? The women are so in fear now. They are so in fear in these relationships that they don't even touch you because they think that if they touch you, it might turn you on. And then she's gotta be intimate with you. That I've heard that before. I've actually heard that before. It's like, oh no, I don't want to. As soon as I touch you, then you gonna want to do something. They in fear out here. They can't even. They don't even want to do that. So much so that they leave you around here empty, flaccid, not erect, like ready to penetrate the world. You're flaccid out here. It's crazy, man. All right, so it goes on to say, without a woman to serve your present embodiment of love, you'll find yourself focusing more on projects and staring at the computer screen, churning thoughts in your head and seeking future goals of financial and spiritual freedom. Meanwhile, you have lost touch with your present, um, with your body and your woman. I definitely agree, because that's one of the things that said it could draw you in. Just a touch can bring you back and take you out of your head. I don't think women understand how powerful it is to be
Hey,
able to draw you out of wherever you're at in deep thought, detached, and bring you back and bring and connect you, to what's going on in the present, man. What'd you say, Steve?
no, I was definitely agreeing with that. It's a a touch, and it doesn't even have to be intimate, but just a touch can change the whole, or like the whole, whatever that you going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, grab, like you going through some stuff, right? Like the first, what they say, the first year to 5 years is like the worst of a relationship, right? But if she reaches out and grab his hand, you know what I'm saying, and be like, baby, it's okay. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna work through this together. Hey, that builds up confidence in a nutshell. That just sets the aura. Or, I mean, yeah, you still have to sit back and figure it out. But now you got two heads trying to figure it out instead of just one. The other one is not just alone for the ride. You know what I'm saying? They working together. They building something, and that's what actually makes a relationship whole. That's what makes a relationship better. Versus well, like, shit, you're on your own, bro. I'm about to go wash these dishes. Let me know when you figure it out. Hey, I might as well be by myself. I might as well go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Get back on that street corner and do what I used to do. You know what I'm saying? Scrape a couple pots. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's pointless for me to, still be sticking around for this. When I'm gonna have to figure it out on my own anyway. I don't have a support factor. I might as well do it on my own. Kind of, I think Lee said that earlier. I was driving, but yeah, I think he mentioned that. Love yourself.
Yeah, and it, and I ain't gonna, these heifers out here. I ain't gonna lie to you. These heifers, they they goddamn selfish as shit too, right? They because you know what?
But the thing is, though,
I'll tell you, they're like, you know what? They probably looking at you and they like, man, this mother, he could really use a pick me up. But you know what? Them goddamn same pair of shoes been right there the whole time and he ain't picked them up. Man, fuck him.
I don't
I
think
guarantee it.
I don't think all of them out there like that.
I guarantee it, dude. If you're not getting it, it's because of something in their head that they can see it. Look, they're so tapped into feelings, man. They know. They know when something's off. How many times, fellas, how many times have you been in a relationship where there was an issue, right? Or something went wrong, or you were just off that day and your woman didn't even check on you. She didn't even say, how you feeling? How you doing? But you notice her mood change. You notice her mood shift. How many fellas have actually seen something like that? How many are experienced something like that? I guarantee a lot of men have experienced that. And it's not that they don't know it or can't feel it. It's just that you didn't take out the trash. You didn't wash the dishes when I wanted you to. Your laundry is still, the basket's still full. They'll have a justification why not to do it, but that doesn't take away the fact that they see it and they notice it. And they could, with a blink, if your woman came to you crying, what would you do? You would probably say, hey, babe, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up with it? What's going on?
You all right? Let her be out of her mood a little bit. You good? I noticed you normally don't, you're normally a little bit more talkative. What's going on? Right? You do that shit. And see, See what well they'll match your energy. That's what they'll do. All right, try to give you some time to get in there. All right. All right.
No,
So
no, I was just listening to you.
all right.
I feel you. I feel you. I mean, but like I said, I don't think all of them. I think there's a few out there. You know what I'm saying?
I would never say all. I would never
Yeah.
say all. But
Yeah,
I definitely do think the majority.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that.
Even if it's 51-49. I think the majority. You know what I mean?
Oh, we back to 149 again. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That part. Because I mean, it is something that's such an important thing, and it's so easy to do, but it's rarely done. It's to check on somebody, to say somebody that you're invested with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel sad for a lot of men that go through that they're not getting checked on. You know what I mean? And that's our burden. That's our burden. You know what I mean? Like, it's known that babies, women, and puppies are the only things that get loved unconditionally. Right? That's our burden. That's just what we're up against. But yeah, it just, feel sad. Man. I'm a very empathetic person. I feel sad for an individual like that. Women may not want to receive your gift. The book says your woman may resist your gift, and so may the world, but you have no choice. Live at your edge. Love as fully as possible. Let your body be erect with energy so that your deep source energy, I'm sorry, let your body be erect with the energy of your deep source, and take full responsibility for giving whatever love you have realized to the world and your woman. Both will seem to refuse you and seduce you until you can feel through them. All right. Feel through your woman and the world, and die in the giving of your gift. Bam. All right, man. Yeah, give your gift. That's all. That's all you got, baby. Get a gift. All right. All right. So we're gonna go on to 49. But before we do, I want to make sure that Steve doesn't have anybody. Oh, Steve. A Blackthorn said, "Hey, Sergeant Gallimore is amazing. Was an amazing leader and held such an important or impact in my life. Love you, dude."
Hey, I appreciate that, Blackthorn. If you're still in here, I meant to address that earlier, but I was driving. You know what I'm saying? It's still 100 degrees out here, but it's dark as hell out on these Texas streets. But yeah, I appreciate that, Blackthorn, for chopping up. And hey, that's what I was here. That's what I was there for. That's all I can say. That was my purpose. That was my purpose, to make sure my soldiers and everybody I came in contact through the military, life was better. You know what I'm saying? The situations were better. I appreciate you tapping in.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, again, who's in here watching, lurking, talking, not talking. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you hit the like button for me. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed as well. All right. So we'll move on to chapter 49. Insist on practice and growth. All right. Direction in life is a masculine priority, says the book. Even in intimate relationships, a less spiritual, mature man may see to his woman, my way, or say to his woman, my way or the highway. A man in this process of growing often soft in his direction and seek a compromise with his woman, playing Mr. Nice Guy. But a superior man will not settle for less than the fullest incarnation of love, of which he and his woman are capable. With compassion, he slices through all bullshit and demands authenticity and humor. It's as if he were saying to his woman, the divine way or the highway. It's the same masculine instance on direction that a weaker man will demand. But rather than wanting his woman to follow his personal direction, the superior man wants her to move in the direction that most serves her growth in love and happiness. He will settle for nothing less. Interesting. I wonder what more the book has to say. If you don't know your own direction in life, you certainly will stand on shaky ground, offering your woman direction. So the first step is to align your own life so that at least in the present moment, you are living at your edge, fully aligned with your sense of purpose. If you are not absolutely certain that in this moment you are living exactly the life you need to, then your woman will feel your lack of clarity and she will fight any kind of guidance you offer. We can stop right there. What do you think about that so far?
I'm over here regulating some stuff right now. I missed it, man. My bad.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. No worries. Well, I think that I think that's true. Look, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan for your life, then how can you then guide the people in it? Right. I think that as men, you need to have a plan. You need to develop a plan, develop where you want to go. No, I think it was where you was going, when you going, how you going, some shit it was saying in the beginning that we read, but you need to be able to answer those questions and know them, right? So I think that is very, very important. And I think that's an aspect that's not really talked about, right? I don't think we really discuss those things. I find that a lot of men want things to kind of just fall into position, right? They don't really plan it. They just want it to fall the way that it's going to fall. And hopefully it goes this way, right? I think that we need to start making plans and put things in alignment and in order as well. Okay. You will tend to forget the purpose, the book says, of your existence as you get lost in daily rounds of projects, business, and duties. Your woman will tend to forget the love at her core as she gets lost in cycles of moods and emotion. As a gift to both of you, you must cut through your own nose to the sorry. As a gift to both of you, you must cut through your own nose to the ground stone mentality, as well as your woman's inconsentment, um, in sadness, fear, and anger, and reveal the truth. Any obstruction that or any obstruction to that depth by yourself or your woman must be cut through in the present moment so your gift may come from the deepest source. All right. It goes on to say that if you don't cut through and take direction, your woman will. So if you don't cut through and take direction, your woman will. Okay. Masculine and feminine energies and in intimacy are governed by the law of conservation. Okay. The less masculine direction you are living in truth, the more masculine direction your woman will take on. If you are lollying about in bozo land, um, are working hard, but actually not living your true gift, then your woman will present your lack of deep direction. She will resent it. Okay. She will begin to take on the masculine blade herself in hopes that you feel the urgency to connect to your depth and really give your gift. I do definitely agree with this. I think that if you don't take the rings, she'll take the rings. She won't have any option, right? The ship has to go somewhere. And so if you're not the one guiding it, I think that it's only logical that she would be the one to pick that up. So I definitely think that that would be a little crazy as well.
Yeah, I agree with
Uh
all that. I agree with
okay.
all, especially with taking the reins. I know we talked about that before.
Hmm.
I think it was on the Queen of Spades in regards to it. Like, the female, like, what I'm saying, she gonna eventually take the reins and then come to a realization like, why are you here, so to speak? You know what I'm saying? And to definitely touch back on what you said before in regards to cutting through the bullshit, get straight to the point. When your woman knows that she has a no nonsense man, it's gonna be straight to the point. Will Smith, straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? No chaser, and we're gonna get down to the root of it and move on. You know, versus keep soaking on this same situation. So yeah, both of them, I agree with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Both of them said, or the book goes on to say, since at your core, however, you are masculine, her masculine attempt to cut through your lollying will depolarize you. You will bash heads with her like two rams. Excuse me. Since both of you are in your masculine. And if you move into your feminine, things may get worse. A deep habit may develop wherein no matter how strong you are in the business world, you become pussy whipped in your relationship. Your woman gets sharp and masculine. You become falsely receptive and agreeable. And meanwhile, both of you are feeling like vomiting. What do you think about that, man?
Hey, what Pop say? I ain't.
Don't be pussy whipped. Reverse that. Hey,
Nah,
yeah.
I feel that. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, oh man, he had to go there. He had to go there, man.
Hey,
R.I.P. Pops, man.
it just jogged the memory. My dad used to say that all the time.
Man.
That's why, you know, that's why I'm in the position of where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? Never felt victim to that, you know, the latter. But, you know, just like Pop said, you know, don't be whipped. You know what I'm saying? You got to whip it.
Yeah, you got to flip that.
Enjoy life.
You got to flip that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. I definitely do think that, yeah, 100%. All right. So it talked about this before in the book. You guys, because you're not in your masculine, forces her to be in your masculine. You still want to be in your, well, somewhat in the masculine, but not really responsible, right? You want the accolades, but not the responsibility. So now you guys are butting heads, right? And then it, you know, this thing only works off of polarity. So you have to then become, um, you know, you got to be put in the feminine role, right? Which you're not going to be comfortable with. You're not going to like. I think it said it's going to depolarize you guys. You guys are not going to be the same. When if you're both in the masculine role, even in the feminine role, is going to be even worse. Yeah, it's going to be a bad time. It's going to be a bad time, man. And that's why I thought that this is real important to go over and talk about, because I don't think a lot of people know about these things, right? I don't think people know about, when you think of men and women roles, you usually think about like household things, right? Or, you know, protection and nourishment type of thing, right? But I think that there's other levels to this as well, right? I think you have to get to that side of it as well to kind of make sure that you're aligned on that end, because sometimes you'll be lacking in other ends, but those are just as important as protecting. You know what I mean? So if your woman is chronically sharp with you, it is most likely a sign that regardless of how successful you are outside of your intimacy, you are not aligned both of your lives with the highest truth. You are not cutting through the underbrush of your duties and your woman's mood to reveal the fertile ground source of your lives. Okay. And so your woman, must yield her own sword. All right. She must not yield. She must wield her own sword. All right. By the laws of conservation of masculine and feminine energy, whatever masculine gifts you aren't offering, your woman will naturally try to offer. Okay. But since in truth, your core is masculine, her masculine offering will most likely turn you off, eventually even repulsing you. I think this is 100% true, right? Because you're attracted to feminine, right? To have another masculine there is going to be like, whoa, wait a minute, right? Don't you open my door and get off me. You know what I'm saying? Why are you pulling out my chair? You know what I'm saying? If those things were happening and then it kept happening, you're going to be repulsed by that shit. You're going to be like, man, wait a minute, right? Why am I following you? Why are you in this position, right? This doesn't feel natural, right? So I think that it could eventually cause some issues and maybe even repulse you, right? Right. Just imagine if you was walking on the street and your girl pulls you to the inside and she pulls on the outside. You're like, what is you doing?
I was thinking the same thing,
brother.
when you said that. I was thinking the same thing when you said that. I was thinking the same thing. You know what I'm saying? She gonna give you her purse and she gonna walk on the outside. Yeah. That'll be a messed up situation, but you might as well just go ahead and switch draws and pennies. Then it's over.
Yeah, go ahead and put that Victoria's Secret on, man.
Man, what?
You are entirely responsible for cutting through your own laziness, addiction, and unclarity. There's nothing to wait for anybody to blame. All right. Whatever techniques are appropriate, use them. Try talking with your friends, using therapy practice, meditation, or prayer, going on a vision quest, reading scriptures, all right, walking in nature, keeping a journal, or studying what the teacher remember or studying with the teacher. Remember that your success with any method you choose depends entirely on your actual commitment to discovering your deepest truth and aligning your life with it. All right. You could meditate until you're blue in the face, but it won't work if when it comes down to it, you rather masturbate, read a newspaper, or watch TV, then cut through your addiction, discipline your daily life, and give your gift from your deepest, most blissful source. Excuse me. The quality of your intent and the consistency and depth of your application determines the results of your direction in gifting, as well as your capacity to guide your woman's life into greater happiness and bodily surrender into love. You got anything to put on that?
No, I think it was all brought out straight to the point.
All right, bet that. We're going to chapter 50 then. All right, there's 51 chapters. Thank you so much for sticking with me thus far. Again, hit the like button. It doesn't, yeah. Let me see, man. Did anybody hit the like button, man? Come on, man. Let me see here. I got one like. I got one person that hit the like button. That's crazy. Okay.
Hey, it was probably when you started talking about erections and intimacy and stuff. That's probably what it was.
I don't know, man. It was just one. I just got one like. That's wild, man. I'm gonna keep going though. All right, because I don't do it for the likes. It's appreciated. But
it's about persevering. It's your purpose. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm about to
yeah,
shoot
man.
the shit out
It's
this
purpose.
damn smoke detector.
Oh shit! No, not the. Oh man. Oh, that's my. Oh, I know what that
I
means.
just went off my Will Smith, man. This
Oh
thing over here pissing me off. Man,
the smoke detector. That was. Oh, I love the sound of that smoke detector.
My goodness, bro. It's so.
Oh, somebody hit the like button. Thank you so much. Thank you. You. Thank you. Okay, you care. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Man, it's hard out here with that like button, man. Yeah, like that, like that's the donation button. You know what I'm saying? All right, 50.
You gotta, get with the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? You gotta talk about.
I'm
Diddy
trying to get
or
with the
Dolph or
algorithm,
something
man,
like
but I
that.
got people gotta
You know
like
what I'm
it. You
talking
know what I'm saying, man? I just like, oh, thank you, man. Oh, Miss Shanti. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Now she about to dislike it.
Yeah. I know. That's my arch enemy. Okay. Appreciate that. All right. So we're on chapter 50. All right. Restore your purpose in solitude and with your man. I'm sorry, with other men. Pardon me, with other men. Wait a minute. No Diddy. All right. A man rediscovers and fine-tunes his purpose in solitude, in challenging situation, and in the company of other men who won't settle for his bullshit. But women strengthen their feminine radiance. Best is the company of other women in mutual celebration and play. A man must arrange for both forms of restoration, his own solitude and men's gathering. Sorry, man, I got a burp. or sneeze or something, and his woman's time with other women. Okay, it just ain't coming up. Hi. Uh, if you spend too much time with your woman, you will rub off on each other in the worst ways. Okay. In order to get along together, she will begin to adopt your masculine patterns of speech, denying her infinity. I'm sorry, denying her feminine desire to flow in play and pleasure without having to make masculine style sense or fulfill a purpose. Um, or fulfilled a sorry, I seen something jump on my screen. You will begin to adopt her feminine patterns of touch and affection, denying your desire to get down to it with your mission or your woman. Instead, you will find yourself pecking your woman on the cheek or giving her hugs and pats of lovey-dovey reassurance. In short, the goddess and the warrior will become neutralized householders, sharing only the mildest play of sexual polarity. All right, we'll stop right there, man. What do you think about that?
Hey, that sound like Wonder Woman and Superman meet, and and they evenly match. Like, what I'm saying, is not going anywhere. It's like pushing towards her side versus him continuing to be in Superman. He's standing in Clark Kent role, and she's being Wonder Woman, taking over. You know what I'm saying? Running, well, not taking over, but running the show. She don't have any choice but to take over. You know what I'm saying? Because she's put in that role. So that's what that sounds like to me.
Okay, okay. Um, so yeah, so I think that I guess I could kind of agree with it in a sense of where she'll start kind of really kind of adapting or picking up your slang, you know what I'm saying, talking the way that you talk, maybe behaving the way that you behave. And I guess that maybe the same can be said for the opposite side is that you might be picking up some of her things, maybe a little bit more sensitive, lovey-dovey type style. So yeah, okay. I guess I can kind of understand that. I guess you need your proper outlets to be able to kind of get around people like-minded individuals to keep sharp. You know what I mean? So, in order to enliven her feminine core, your woman should spend time every day in absolute abandon and celebration. During this time of dance, singing, laughter, and sheer delight, her body and mind should be totally released of any obligations to the masculine, directed, controlled, structured, or goal oriented. All those things should be out of her mind. These occasions are most rejuvenative when she is with other women. Okay, like-minded. Yeah. Magnifying and rejoicing in each other's feminine radiance and flow. If your woman lacks the frequent feminine rejuvenation, she will develop symptoms of depression, feminine um feminine energy disease, especially in her more feminine parts, lack of life, energy, low sexual desire and enjoyment, and a blue, downhearted disposition as well. Um, I think this could be true, right? I think that if so, yes, I think it's good to have girl time, right? I think it's good to kind of charge your batteries where you don't necessarily have to think. You know what I'm saying? You can be in your feminine. You don't have to think, you don't have to do nothing, you have to move, make decisions, all that stuff. So I could kind of see where they're going with this one. I think that that is a good trait to have, as well as just basking around other women. I think it could be good. I think that could be a good time. What do you think about that?
I totally agree with that. I totally agree. Because I think I said this before. on on the original Ace of Spades podcast. If you have something always in your face, you can't see around it. But once you remove that object from your face, you can actually start to see around it and actually see the flaws, of what's going on around that particular object. Meaning relationship. If you're always in each other's face, you catering to one another, you can't see uh the issues that's going on in a relationship. But once you take a step back, I promise you I'm about to tip. Once you take a step back, you can actually get down to the bottom of it and figure things out.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of an episode of, like, I think it was the Cleveland show where Donna would be going out with her friends, getting super wasted, and coming back and like filling them up. Hey, if that was my welcome, man, I baby go out every night. Come home and fill me up. But yeah, no, I definitely get it. I think that it is a moment to kind of let go, let loose, let your hair down. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be careful with some of these hookers though, man. They bad for relationships. I think I ain't gonna get into that though. It's good. Do it. Have fun. All right. Much of the modern man's movement has has concentrated on men reclaiming their inner feminine energy. If you want to revitalize your own feminine energy, then you can do pretty much the same as women do to revitalize their feminine energy. You can go out into the woods and sing and dance and laugh with your friends. For men who have become rigidly stuck in their masculine direction, without allowing the flow of joy and sharing in their lives, this is good medicine. Um, what you think about that, man?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
Hey, man. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying. No Diddy. I don't know.
Come on. We here. We here, dog. We here. Yeah. I'm not singing and all that, man. Get the dancing and shit, man. Oh, hell no, man. I don't know what this guy on. I don't know what this guy on right
It's
here.
like he got to the end of the book and started sniffing some of that pink cocaine.
Man, he took a long ass line.
That's crazy.
Know.
Crazy.
I don't know if I can get jiggy with that one, homie. I don't get word shout out to Will Smith. I don't know if I can get jiggy with that one. Yeah, man. No, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that over here. I don't know about that medicine. But for men who have lost their sense of purpose, who don't know what their life is about, or who have trouble aligning their lives with their truth, singing and dancing aren't the remedy. Okay, that's one. Let's get that out the way. The cure for the lack of purpose is to be challenged to live at your edge, since you have lost the capacity to live there by yourself. The two ways to bring you right to your masculine edge of power are austerity, which is kind of like a sternness, and challenge. All right. Austerity basically means to eliminate the comforts and cushions in your life that you have learned to snuggle into and lose weak fullness. Take away anything that dulls your edge. No newspaper or magazines, no TV, no candies, cookies, or sweets. No sex, no cuddling, no reading of anything at all while you eat or sit on the toilet. Reduce working time to a necessary minimum. No movies, no conversation that isn't about truth, love, or the divine. I think that could be helpful. I think that could be helpful. I think we have so many distractions. I think removing those things could help us kind of center in and focus. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It sounds like a regroup session. trying to, figure out where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? Cutting out all the distractions and getting straight to the point. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. All right. I would keep going. If you take on these disciplines for a few weeks, as well as any other disciplines that may particularly cut through your unique habits of boldness, your life will be stripped of routine distraction. All that will be left is the edge you have been avoiding by means of your daily routine. Okay. You will have to face the basic discomfort and dissatisfaction. That is the hidden texture of your life. You will be alive with the challenge of living your truth rather than hiding from it. I think that that's another thing I think is good to unveil, pull back layers and examine them, instead of, lift that rug up and examine what's underneath there. Because a lot of times, as men, I think we sweep a lot of shit under the rug. We don't necessarily work through it. Um, it's still a big ass mound in the middle of in the middle of the room. Um, it's not hiding from anybody. It's really showing up, even when even though you're acting like it's not there. I think that is real important. I can see how that could be beneficial. Um, you got anything on that one?
Negative. No,
All
you hit
right.
it straight. You hit the nail on the head.
All right, bet. Unadorned suffering is the bed made of masculine growth. Only by staying intimate with your personal suffering can you feel through it to your source. By putting all of your attentions into work, TV, sex, and reading, your suffering remains unpenetrated, and the source remains hidden. um, your life becomes structured internally by your favorite means of sidestepping the suffering you rarely allow yourself to feel. And when you do touch the surface of your suffering, perhaps in a form of boredom, you quickly pick up a magazine or the remote control. And I think this is true too. I think if you get too close to what it is that makes you uncomfortable, if you're not ready to deal with it, you'll find yourself, quickly trying to find a distraction. So I can definitely see what that is. Instead, feel your suffering, rest in it, embrace it, make love with it. Feel your suffering so deeply and thoroughly that you penetrate it and realize its fearless foundation. Okay, almost everything you do because you are afraid to die. Okay, and yet dying is exactly what you're doing from the moment you are born. Okay, 2 hours of absorption is a good Super Bowl telecast, may distract you temporarily, but the fact remains you were born as a sacrifice. Okay, and you can either participate in the sacrifice, dissolving in the giving of your gift, or you can resist it, which is your suffering. Anything to touch on that?
He went biblical, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? You're born to die. So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So yeah, because I agree with that, man. I think that it defeats the purpose of the fear then, right? Like there's no need for the fear. You should be then living at your edge because this is the truth.
Yeah, and that's when what he was saying in the beginning of the book, when a man finds his purpose, that's when he's, straight to the point, no chasing. You know what I'm saying? Because he has nothing to fear now. He knows what his worth is, and he's sticking to that, and he's holding people around him to a higher standard, holding himself to a higher standard. Versus settling for less.
Oh yeah, I think that's when he's most free. By eliminating the safety net of comfort in your life, you have the opportunity to free fall in the moment beneath. I'm sorry, you have the opportunity to free fall in this moment between birth and death, right through the hole of your fear into the where am I at? Unthreatenable openness. which is the source of your gift. A superior man lives as this spontaneous sacrifice of love. The other means, because we had the first one, so the other means besides uh, austerity for rediscovering your masculine core is through challenge. Okay, the most superficial form of challenge includes activities like mountain climbing, rope courses, competitive sports, and boot camp. These forms of physical challenge instantly enlivens the masculine sense of purpose and direction in men and women. I can definitely agree with that one, because I mean, when you go to boot camp and you know what I'm saying, it's just you. I mean, you got the other trainees there as well, but you know, you all are going through that experience together. Um, it's a rush. You know what I'm saying? That initial shock of it is a rush. So I definitely can understand that, especially when you get into the challenges. You know what I'm saying? You want to be better. You want to compete. You know, you want to outshine the next person, right? um we used to do that with our boots and shit. You know what I'm saying? Who can have the shiniest boots? You know what I'm saying? That was back when we had the wax and we was in there just daily Mr. Miyagi and that shit, wax on, wax off. Needless to say, I had the best boots. So, but yeah, I can definitely see and understand what that's saying right there. What says you, sir?
No, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree.
All
That
right.
was straight to the point. Straight to the point, man.
I bet that. Deeper forms of challenge involves directly giving your gift in ways that have been blocked by your fear. If you have always been afraid of public speaking, you can take on the challenge of speaking in public once a week for 3 months. If you fail and miss any appointments one week, the following week you must give 3 talks. If you have always wanted to write a novel but could never finish one, you tell your friends that you are going to complete 1 chapter a week or a month, whatever the duration is, for the next year. Every time you don't complete your weekly goal, you owe your friends $100. If you don't complete your yearly goal, you owe them $10,000. Talk to me.
Hey, that's man. Talk about holding your foot to the fire right there. Hey, but I feel them in regards to that. Because you have to start somewhere. If if you're not gonna hold yourself accountable, who's gonna hold you accountable? So I definitely agree with that. Now, it's kind of getting outrageous with $100, $10,000, but I kind of feel them though. In a sense, like um, you wasting time. Especially if you done told X amount of friends and family members that you're about to do X, Y, Z, and you don't at least try to achieve that goal. You wasting everybody's time. You looking for a handout, so to speak, versus just pushing to fulfill your goal. So I kind of feel them on that, but I think 10,000 is a little rough.
Hey man, when you make different money, you play different games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you go to the casino, they got dollar tables. They probably even got quarter tables. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? All the way up to 1,000 hand. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
2,000, 3, 5, 10. You know what I'm saying? You play on a different level. These guys actually obviously on a different level. However, I do think that the concept itself um means something, right? I do think that that's important. Um because we know people who talk good, but they never deliver. You know what I mean?
Like the ones with the high KDs. You know what I'm saying? They always woofing, but they never show up.
They
You know what I'm
always
talking
talking, but they never show up, right? They never show up. They talk though. They talk a lot, but they never show up, man. And so if you're really dedicated to your craft and what you're doing, I think it doesn't make look, because I have a very small circle. And in that small circle, I could probably think of 2 people who I would be able to make the bet with and take the bet with, right? because this, I don't think this is for the lighthearted. This is for friends, right? Because this, to me, for me, I ain't gonna say it could end a friendship, but it could really damage one if you can't keep your word. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that means something. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be pissed if you didn't do it and you were supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna hold you accountable for it. You know what I mean? So it's very yeah. I don't know if this is a black person thing.
But that's the thing, though. We talked about that A word on many subjects in the past, but just about being accountable. A lot of us can point the blame to is this sex or this sex, but just being accountable, and actually appreciating your friendship or your mateship, or whoever you're in a relationship with, whatever. Just appreciating that. How far will you go to show them that this is authentic? A lot of people don't want to hold that, or they want to bullshit and beat around the bush instead of being accountable. That's the issue, especially in the United States. That's the main issue.
Well, this ain't even involving relationship. This is involving friendship.
No, that's what I'm saying. Friendship, mateship, courtship. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of go hand in hand. But friendship, like you said, like it can definitely end a friendship if you're not sticking to your word.
Yes. So in this particular section, we're talking men, and men being men, and men sharpening men, right? And
No
as
duty.
a man, if you can't, if you and you Steve, you know me, you've been around to where other men don't stand on what they say, or they lie, even though if they're playing or whatever. But still, though, you're a man of your word. That's a saying for a reason. They don't say woman of your word, right? I've never heard that expression, right? But I've heard a man of your word, a man of, so that means something. So, you know what I'm saying? So I think that could really damage, but I think that it's also a great concept for real men to be able to hold other men accountable, for number one, to seek help, and then to hold them accountable. I think is a great thing, and something that's often lacking in our community, right? But I think that it's starting to grow. I think it's starting to grow, and I think it's starting to blossom out. And I think that men are now beginning to be men again. So I think that that's a great thing. I think being able to fellowship in that manner and take that on, I think is an awesome thing. You just gotta be careful with because you're gonna find out who your friends is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna find out who's reliable.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Bro.
Quick. Yeah, you're gonna find out. So be careful with that one. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, gentlemen, be careful with that one, because that can get a little that can get a little messy. If you know you can't pay up, don't make that type of deal, but do what you can do. All right. The point is, there must be a consequence for freezing in the face of fear. All right, says the book. There are obvious consequences for freezing in the face of fear when mountain climbing or playing competitive sports. You must instill consequences throughout the rest of your life, unless you want to cling to the safety net of superficial pleasure. All right. The most potent form of masculine realignment. All right, let's get into this. Let's see what they talk about. Involves both austerity and challenge. Go to the middle of the woods by yourself with only survival necessities. Nothing nothing to read, nothing to do. Fast for food. Don't sleep for as long as possible. Challenge your attention with some practice, like chanting or ritual movements, so that your attention doesn't drift or become blamey or balmy, I think it was this. Open yourself and wait. Do not cover your suffering. Do not quit before you fall through the hole of your fear and emerge with a vision of your true mission, the unique form of your living sacrifice. Something you could do, something you couldn't do. What do you think?
That's another kind of stretch, but hey, if you can survive in the woods, you know what I'm saying, with just survival tools, you can get it anywhere. It's just like going back to what you were talking about with going into basic training with all the other trainees. Everyone like you know what they say, iron, steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens steel, whatever. Um, and you have the like caliber of people around you, you're gonna be better. You're gonna be is gonna put you in survival mode. You're gonna have a better outlook in regards to certain situations. So I definitely agree with that.
For sure, for sure. I'm about to speed this up a little bit. I'm coming up on time. The
Oh
most
yeah, we
potent form
pushing
of
2 hours,
masculine.
ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, man. I think that it could definitely I think that it's doable, but I don't think it's doable at the same time. I feel like you can do it, but jobs, life, I think you have to set some time aside to do it. It could be very enlightening, especially when you start doing your searching internally. This kind of isolation and challenge is an extremely important form of masculine vision questing. That's almost what it reminds me of. It's like a vision quest, right? To kind of take away all the distractions and everything like that, and kind of get you zoned into your purpose and things that may be bothering you, and kind of getting that resolution. Just as your woman must regularly spend time with only women, you must regularly spend time with only men, at least once a week. Get together with your men friends to serve one another. Cut through the bullshit and talk with each other straight. If you feel your friend is wasting his life, tell himself, um, because you or I guess tell him because you love him. Welcome such criticism from your friends, suggest challenges for each other, and take on in order to bring each other through the fears which limit your surrender and gifting. Always agree on consequences for not persisting in the challenge. For instance, if you agree to ravish your woman for 3 hours every other day for a week, then also agree to mow your friend's yard if you miss a day of ravishment. What do you think about that?
Hey, hey, like I said, hold your foot to the fire. I mean, you could do it, but you got to be a man of your word and stand up on it. You got to stand on business versus, just bullshitting and not doing it, because then a lot of people people can start losing trust and faith in you, and knowing that, oh, you're not going to come through. I already know, you're not reliable. So why are we even talking about this? But like you said, getting straight to the point, cutting through the BS, and letting your friend know that he's full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's call it a spade or ace of spade. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's straight to the point. So, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. Because what's the point of keep bullshitting or feeding a lie? Because it's just gonna grow into a bigger lie. And then you're gonna be disappointed anyway. So you might as well just cut to the chase.
Yes, sir. All right. Book goes on to say, make sure that you arrange for your woman's rejuvenative time and your own. Otherwise, you will rot in the cushion of uh, bargain stagnation and sexual neutralization, which pad your true edge, so you're not sharp as much of living your gift in the relationship. Agree. All right, last chapter. All right. last
Are you serious? I thought this was the last chapter.
No,
I thought
this
that.
is the last chapter. Have no fear, though. It's a
Oh
quick
wow,
one. It's
gotcha.
a quick one. Practice dissolving. Okay, like dissolving in the intensity of any orgasm. A man's greatest desire is to be utterly released. Says the synopsis. All right. So the book goes on to say, moment by moment, practice loving through your woman and the world, allowing the force of your surrender, and transform every moment into an orgasm of divine dissolution. Embrace every moment of experience as a lover and trust whatever direction love moves you. die in the giving of your gift. So you don't even notice you have stopped holding onto yourself. Fear is your final excuse. Don't fight it. Love through it. And that is it. Hey, we made it to the end, man. Give me something. What do you want to say anything about that?
Hey, I love the way when the plan comes together. I love it.
I tell
it
you,
is what
man.
it is. I really feel that he did his thing. A lot of stuff was kind of like, huh? But when you put your mind on it and think about it, it come together. I think it was a dope concept.
Yeah, and I won't even say a lot of it. I'll say a little bit of it. I think a lot of it was great information. I think it was a different perspective. I think that it gave a lot of great insight to how we could be doing it wrong, or how we could do it right, or how we could do it differently. Right. Some stuff I think pick up, some stuff I think we left where it was. All right. I ain't singing and dancing in the woods. That just ain't happening. But I do think that there should be a fellowship of some kind, right? A thing of where we do hold each other accountable and strengthen each other as well, right? Being able to show, hey, man, you can do better here. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that, or saying, hey, man, tighten up here. You know what I'm saying? Focus there. I think this is a good thing. I think that another perspective is not that bad, because we're in the thick of it, man. So I think that it really could help to have a different perspective. So yeah, I'm with you on that one, man. Crazy. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hitting the like. Whoever hit the like, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for supporting the stream thus far. It's not the beginning and it's not the end. All right. What I do want to do, though, is I want to challenge all the guys and the ladies, whoever's here, whoever wants to be here, to find 5 things that stood out to you, whether you liked it, disagreed with the book. Find 5 things that you liked, didn't like, or whatever. Okay, I want to talk about it next time we come back. I'm going to open up the phone lines. I might even just drop the link, let people come on, talk about it, and discuss it, right? Because it was a lot of information in this book. And like you said, some of it I think we were with it, some of it was like, wait a minute, right? So I really want to know and understand and get, and if you want to say good job, right? You might want to say, hey man, I don't got anything to say about the book, but good job, right? You made it, you set out a goal, you finished it, good job, right? Or you might want to say you suck, right? I didn't like it at all. The book was terrible, you're terrible. Whatever you want to say will be your moment to say it, and I'm gonna listen to it. Okay. That's just simply gonna be next week, same time. 5 things that you got from the book, man. You can do more if you like, whatever really stood out for you. And let me know what it does. Jakar Lee says, special shout out to all my fans, man. Well, you got ceiling fans or something? I don't know what that is. So yeah, so hey, you have an invitation to come on to the show, Lee. So you can say hello to your fans yourself, right? But yes. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. All right, thank you. I had this idea. I put it to work. You supported that. You were here. You pushed it on your channel. Thank you to everybody on Dizriz ENT's channel, on his Facebook, on his YouTube. I really appreciate you helping me through this, man. 100%.
And that's what friends was for, man. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to stick together, stick it out through the thick and thin. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir. And even to Lee, man, for some of y'all don't know, Lee was actually in this thing in the beginning as well. He dropped out, but he was in it in the beginning, man. Thank you for your participation in the beginning. It was very entertaining, very fun. I appreciated it. And yeah, so thank you guys again. I really do appreciate you guys. This is not it. We will be I'm going to do it next week. We're going to talk about the book all together in its totality. It probably won't be that long of a stream, but I don't know. It depends on you guys. And then after that, the following week, I'm going to start Ace of Spades, the news channel where we talk about things that are going on in the world. We got elections coming up. We got Diddy in jail.
Hey, don't forget about Dolph. Don't forget about Dolph.
Now look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know nothing about Dolph. I don't know anything about the case.
Hey, we're about to educate him on it.
But I was going to educate me on it because I had no idea what it is. He was sending me some clips early. I was like, dude, I don't know none of these people. But Young Thug is in doing his RICO. You know what I mean? There was supposed to be another debate. I don't think there's going to be a debate. So much stuff going on, right? Yeah, so much going on. So we will be covering those things. We'll be talking about those things. We'll do like we do. It's gonna be a blast. All right. I can't wait to see y'all there. I'm just so excited that I was able to wrap this thing up, man. Look, if you want to get something done, first thing you got to do is do it. All right. That's it. There's no shortcuts to it, man. I fucking finished the book. All right. Like I said, I was not a reader. All right. I didn't read. I didn't like to read. A lot of y'all can already tell. They used to, before there was a book, they were always clowning me on my reading. It just wasn't my thing. But I definitely enjoyed being here with you all. I definitely enjoyed being here with you, Steve, as well, man. And you got anything for us before we get out of here, man? Anything coming up? Anything you want the people to know about?
Not currently, man. I'm still trying to get myself situated. But hey, everybody, we appreciate y'all's love and support, and keep rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep rocking it as long as y'all rocking with us. So let's keep the party going.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for being here, keeping up with my shit, putting up with my shit. I appreciate it. Until next time, man. Y'all be safe and be cool out there. All right? Yes, sir. Hey.